Hi guys.
Islam, over here. Obviously, we thought you would be fighting someone besides Alex Volkanovski this fight week. So I'm curious, when you got the news that you were rematching Alex Volkanovski rather than rematching Charles Oliveira, did you have to change much in your fight camp, or were you just focusing on what you were doing instead?
Honestly, I don't have some time to change something, and I just keep training. And for me, it's everybody know my style, you know. And one thing, I have to be in good shape, and that's it.
Alex was in here right before you, and he said if the roles were reversed, that you wouldn't take the fight on 11 days' notice if they came to you to rematch him.
Yes, if UFC told him, hey, bring your belt and come to Abu Dhabi before 11 days, he never take. Because he don't have any risks. Without his belt, he come. That's why he just come to make money. All about this. Everybody know this.
He said that he feels the pressure is on you because he's the one coming off the couch. He was the one that's taking this fight in 11 days. He wasn't in camp. So I'm curious, do you feel any pressure to outperform your last performance against him?
I don't have any pressures because I am a champion. Doesn't matter who is gonna be in front of me. But I agree, this guy don't have any pressures. He came 11 days and I already beat him. And if I beat him again, just people gonna say, he come short notice, not good shape, something like this. But for me, it's nothing means. I just step to the cage, finish this guy, that's it.
Dana White said that he's going to put your quote on the wall at the UFC Apex. I'm curious what you think about that your words are going to be there forever.
You know, this is what UFC champion have to do, like a real champion. If you're a real champion, you have to take fight, doesn't matter how many days, who is gonna be, not like your pound for pound champion when they give him chills on him. If you're a real champion, you have to fight. They put him number one, the number one guy right now, who he beat last 5 fights. We don't have some name from top pound for pound rankings. And I just want to say about the rankings, about all these things, this is bullshit. I'm not followed anymore.
Islam, why did you change your mindset on the rankings? Why do you not care about that as much anymore?
Because last time I beat already the last fight, number 2 versus number 1. If you beat number 1, you have to be number 1, but I don't know who make the rankings.
Alex has said that his goal is to come out very aggressive. He's predicting he'll knock you out early in the fight. Do you feel like that's how he has to fight, given the short notice, or maybe his best chance?
I don't remember when Alex knocked out someone. He wanna try to pressure me, or he want to make me think about this, but I don't care. Everybody who stepped to the cage want to knock him out, but I stopped them all.
I spoke to one of your coaches, Javier Mendez, last night, and he was saying that in the last fight, Alex was actually heavier than you in the cage. I asked Alex that. He said that's not true, and that you were. Do you know what the deal is? Who was heavier?
Yeah, the UFC told me. Because you guys know when the beginning the event 5 in the morning, I don't have time to make my weight back, you know. But he don't have to cut much weight for the 155. And you know, the schedule in Australia, how the beginning the event, it's crazy.
Yeah, how much different is this for you, especially with like the weight cut, the rehydration? Is it going to be a lot better this time?
Yeah, it's gonna be like usually with all UFC fighters have the schedule, you know. But in Australia, I wake up, put alarm 8 a.m., wake up, and I think I have to eat or Now I have to go to arena, and this is first time on my life. And we change many things, and I don't bring my weight back.
Do you feel like Charles Oliveira pulling out of this fight, did he lose his opportunity? Like, do you think he needs to win another fight and now Justin Gaethje will be next?
Honestly, I feel okay, I'm gonna beat Volkanovski now, and I have two opponents, Gaethje and Oliveira. I think they have to fight again, and who is win, I just beat this guy again.
What about Gamrot, because he's the backup fighter?
Gamrot is good, but he lost couple fights ago. But I don't know, they all beat each other, Doesn't matter. UFC, just call me and I will be ready.
And where does welterweight fit into your plans? I know you're going to be keeping a close eye on the fight between Leon Edwards and Colby Covington.
Yeah, of course. If they call me, I will be ready for Colby or Leon, any fights. But my dream, my goal, I want to second belt.
Why is that so important to you?
Because we have many UFC champions, but not much double champ. I want to be double champion.
And last thing for me, it sounds like the UFC's deal with USADA is going to end at the end of this year, and there's going to be a new drug testing program. What would you like to see different in terms of how the athletes are taken care of as far as the drug testing program for UFC?
I think this news when I wake up and saw the news make me upset, because this is UFC. This is a level, and so I don't know about the new organization, but some organization have to control this, because we know when USADA come and before the USADA, how the fighters change, how the fighter looks, and how they fight, everything is changed, That's why high level sport, it's have to be under some anti-doping program.
Just going off that, obviously last time you fought there was this IV conversation going on. Did that change your level of respect for Alex and his team? Because today it seems like you're a little bit annoyed about him stepping in, some of the things he's saying.
Yeah, from his team I know some couple bullshit guy who want to make some drama, But if you professional fighters, if you say something, you have to доказать, как будет.
You have to back it up.
You have to back up this, You cannot say something. He put IV or something like this, and you don't have. You don't have proof,
With Alex taking this fight, you said he was doing this for the money. He says he's doing it to try and achieve something great that no one else can do. Do you not think there's any truth in what he says when he says that?
My opinion, he take this fight because of money. And what he lose? If I beat him again, what he lose? He have his belt, and he will defend his belt beginning of next year.
He says if he loses to you, then he'll never get a chance at that belt, and that's what he's risking.
He didn't touch this belt, never.
Islam, over here. Salam. Alex talks about he took this opportunity. Part of it was because he wasn't sure if he was going to get it, because things could change. You could move up to welterweight. How about you? Was this important? Were you okay if you never got to fight Alex again, or did you also really want this rematch?
Honestly, after the first fight, many people talking about the fight, and many people want to watch this rematch. And I'm really happy, because right now they can give me anyone, but I'm really happy because they give me Charles, because they give me Volkanovski, because last time I fight in his arena, his area, but now it's Abu Dhabi, and everything now on my side.
Do you fear that if you beat him again, people are going to kind of make excuses for him to say, oh, well, he came on short notice and whatnot?
Of course, that's why I put on Instagram. Before he make this drama, I put the news. Don't make.
And Alex was, predicting a knockout, saying he's gonna, he can't show you too much respect. Do you almost feel like that could be his downfall, like if he comes out too aggressive?
I show him too much respect in the first fight. This fight, I will try to finish him all fights. Looking for the finish all 5 rounds.
And your run so far, obviously you're always willing to fight everybody, but circumstances sometimes don't play out that way. But you're fighting a lot of big names, either champions, long winning streaks. Does part of you like that on your legacy, on your resume, you get to put these big names?
Yeah, for the legacy, I think like now it's a rematch, second fight with Oliveira. It's not so good for the legacy. I need some new names, second belt, and all like rematch. But I really happy because they give me now Volkanovski, because last year, same time, same month, I'm training here for the Oliveira, and I feel same. But when they change, it's give me some new energy.
And one more for me. Do you have a prediction for Leon and Colby? Who do you think wins?
I don't know who will win, but I hope Colby win.
Thank you.
Салам алейкум.
Alexander.
Такой вопрос. Сейчас вот с коллегами разговаривали, с Александром Волконовски, и ему задали вопрос, если бы ему сообщили о вашем поединке немного позже, на несколько дней, принял бы он этот поединок? Как ты думаешь, если бы ему, например, вот на днях сообщили бы о том, что нужно с тобой драться, принял бы он этот вызов, и насколько сильно та сумма, которую он запросил 10 дней назад и сейчас, она разнилась бы?
Я думаю, он принял бы. Я его считаю настоящим чемпионом, крепким орешком, который будет драться вне зависимости, как пойдет бой или как бы тяжело ему не было, он будет драться. И насчет суммы, я думаю, да, сумма точно поменялась бы.
The question was, we were talking with my colleagues and asking about if Volkanovski heard about the rematch even a few days further, not the 11-day notice, but a few days afterwards, would he still say yes? Would he still want to fight you? And is the money that he was offered the reason why the decision was made so quick? And will he still accept the fight if that's the money that's talking? And the answer was that I believe that he was going to accept the fight no matter what, because he's a real champion. He's a die-hard fighter, so it's very important for him to fight for his legacy, for his name.
Еще один вопрос. Как ты думаешь, Волконовский на 10-дневном уведомлении опаснее, чем Чарльз Оливейра с полным лагерем?
Another question, what do you think, is Volkanovski with a 10-day notice more dangerous than Charles Oliveira with his full training camp?
Знаешь, я думаю, все оппоненты опасны. Если ты им дашь поработать, любой из топов опасный.
I think all opponents are dangerous. Anybody from top of the division, they're all dangerous. So if you let them work, if you let them implement their game plan, they're all dangerous.
А в прошлом бою ты дал Волконовски поработать? Как ты думаешь?
Last fight, do you think you gave him the opportunity to work a little bit?
Да, думаю, прошлый бой не особо по плану у меня пошел, но мы внесли немного корректив. Думаю, этот бой будет совсем другой.
Yes, I believe so. I think last fight didn't really go exactly as we planned, but we did a lot of adjustment, we did some improvements, so I think this time is going to go much better.
Ислам, приветствую. Если представить, что Алекс был бы твоим тиммейтом, а не твоим соперником, и вот ты бы со стороны бы смотрел, ты бы отговаривал его выходить против себя на коротком уведомлении?
Let's pretend that there's a scenario where, as opposed to being your opponent, Alex is actually your teammate. Would you actually try to talk him out of fighting you?
Ну, у меня в команде никто не гонится за деньгами, а у них по-другому. Ему предложили хорошую сумму здесь, я думаю, 90% в Ростреле, они просто хотят заработать, и он не упустил свой шанс.
In my team, nobody's after the money. And I think here what's happening is in his team it's totally different. So there's 90% chance that the only reason he's saying yes is because he got a good opportunity to make a good paycheck, and so that's what he's after.
Сейчас с Камару Усманом прилетел Джастин Гейджи. Пересекались ли вы уже в Абу-Даби? И интересно в будущем противостояние с ним.
Along with Kamaru Usman, we got Justin Gaethje here. They came together. Have you seen him in the hotel, or have you seen him around? And are you thinking that there might be a fight between you and Gaethje coming up?
Нет, я его еще не встречал. Но я, знаешь, о чем думал? Я вот говорил тоже на английском, что я уже думаю, что у меня, например, после этого боя есть два оппонента уже готовых, которые ждут свой титульный шанс. Из-за этого я думаю, ну, наверное, их надо свести, и чтобы был настоящий один претендент.
No, I haven't seen him yet, but to tell you the truth, I already said that in English before in an interview, is that I'm pretty sure that after this fight, there's already two definite opponents that I already have ready for a fight with me. So I think the two of them should fight between each other, so we have an actual number one contender for the belt.
И последний от меня вопрос. У тебя есть ощущение, что вот после этих замен болельщикам стал интереснее бой Чимаев против Усмана, чем твой против Волкановски?
My final question is, after all of these substitution last-minute changes, do you think that the fans are more excited about the fight between Usman and Chimaev as opposed to the fight between you and Volkanovski?
Ну, Чимаев и Усман тоже очень интересный бой, но даже мне все мои знакомые пишут, говорят, соперник поменялся, мы уже были на твоем бою с Оливейрой, и уже не было такого интереса там приезжать туда же, в Абу-Даби. И все сейчас ищут билеты, очень интересно им посмотреть именно этот рематч. И я думаю, вокруг этого боя с Волкановским сейчас для моих фанатов, я думаю, больше интереса.
You know, honestly, I'm sure that the fight between Usman and Chimaev is very interesting. But from the people that I know, from my fans, a lot of the people wrote to me and they said, you know, we've actually seen a fight between you and Oliveira before, and we weren't very interested in that. But now that the opponent changed, and now that you fight in Volkanovski, we're scrambling, trying to find tickets, trying to get to Abu Dhabi just to make sure and see this rematch, because it's very interesting to a lot of the fans around the world. So I think that this fight is very important as well.
Ислам, если можно, Вадим Тихомиров, matchtv.ru. А вот бойцам приходится давать пресс-конференцию примерно за 1-2 дня до взвешивания. Значит ли это, что мы с вами общаемся, когда вы в максимально плохом настроении? То есть можешь ли ты сказать, что сейчас у тебя, там, возможно, самое плохое настроение за последние полгода?
You know, a lot of the athletes are forced to give the interviews on media days only about 1 or 2 days before they have to make weight. And is it possible to assume that this is probably the worst days for you and you're in the worst mood out of the entire time just because you're thinking about cutting weight?
Нет, я только потренировался. Знаешь, это от чего зависит? Утром проснулся, и сколько у тебя веса показало. Если все по плану, все идет хорошо, у тебя хорошее настроение на целый день.
You know, I actually just came from training, so really what it depends on is when you wake up in the morning, you get on the scale, what does the scale say? And if the scale says what you want it to say, then you have good mood the entire day, but that's what it's dependent.
И ты несколько раз говорил о том, что для Алекса Волкановски важен гонорар в этом поединке. А просто интересно, у тебя есть какая-то инсайдерская информация, или ты, подписывая контракт, представляешь цифры, за какие он дерется? То есть вот откуда ты берешь сведения о его гонораре?
You know, a couple of times you said about the fact that Volkanovski is only fighting for the money. Is that something that you have, like an inside information when you sign the contract? Do you know how much he's getting? Or where are you getting this idea that he's only fighting for the money?
Ну, у нашей менеджерской команды много бойцов, и я как-то до этого спрашивал, ну, например, если человек выходит на таком коротком уведомлении, ну, ни для кого не секрет же это, что он в первую очередь называет сумму, если и договаривается, то он принимает бой.
You know, in our management company, there's a lot of fighters, and I've asked before. I just was curious to see what happens if somebody comes out last minute, if there's a difference in numbers there. And so, you know, honestly, it's not a secret for anybody that first thing you do is you call your price, and then if the price is good, then you say yes or no.
Последний вопрос от меня. Мы видим на фотографиях много родственников и членов семьи Хабиба Нурмагомедова. Приехал ли кто-то из твоих родных на этот бой? Находится ли он здесь, в Абу-Даби?
Да, мои братья приехали. Ну, отец, там, дяди мои не приезжают, потому что я сам прошу тоже, чтобы не приезжали. По-любому, когда старшие приезжают, чуть надо уделять внимание, но сейчас очень тяжело этим заниматься из-за этого. Я сам прошу, чтобы из старших не приезжали никто.
Question was, we saw a lot of pictures of Habib's family and his relatives that are here for the fight. did you have anybody from your own family that came to see you? And the answer is, I had a couple of brothers that came, but not my uncles, not my dad, because this is very difficult when you have such an important fight. You still have to pay attention to those relatives that come in here, and it's actually something that I asked them myself not to come for the fight, just because I have some other things that I have to concentrate on.
Ислам, слева от тебя. В недавнем интервью ты сказал, что Хабиб не только не будет присутствовать у тебя в раздевалках перед боем, его даже не будет на арене. Вот объясни тем, кто не понимает, потому что некоторые еще думают, что вдруг Хабиб когда-то будет выступать, почему он не ходит даже на турниры?
You know, a little bit ago in the interview you said that not only is Khabib not going to be in your corner, he's actually not even going to be at the arena. Can you please explain to some people that still don't understand why is it important that Khabib is not going to be here?
Но я только вот так могу это объяснить. У нас очень большая команда. И если Хабиб будет приходить на чей-то бой, то мы все одинаковые в команде. У нас нету кто-то чемпион, кто-то там только начинает. Все друг друга поддерживаем. Если он на мой бой пришел, значит ему надо идти там и других поддерживать, и на все бои ходить, чтобы кого-то, может, не обидеть. И из-за этого просто он уже сказал, что не будет посещать арену, не будет там в углу, и мы его все в этом поддерживаем.
You know, we have a pretty big team, and we don't define who's a champion, who's just starting out, who's in the middle of their career. Everybody's equal, everybody's the same. So if he's going to come to my fight, he's going to have to come to other fights and stuff like that, or he's going to have to explain why is it he went to one fight and didn't go to the other fight. So that's what he said. He's not going to be in a corner. He's not going to be coming in. He's not going to be there for the fights, just because this way he doesn't have to do it for everybody else.
И в еще одном недавнем интервью тебе задали вопрос относительно того, если бы Хабиб сейчас выступил, мог бы он победить Стрикланда, ты сказал, что это вообще без проблем. И ты даже сделал отдельный пост про это, где сказал, что Хабиб в очень хорошей форме, и ты там именно процитировал, что он мог бы победить даже Стрикланда сейчас. Почему ты именно подчеркнул, что это о конкретном бойце шла речь? Ты, то есть мог бы просто же сказать, например, что он бы сейчас победил там любого.
Я сейчас смотрю примерно сколько он весит, и вес Стрикленда, и Стрикланд на данный момент чемпион, и из-за этого я думаю, как он сейчас борется с действующими бойцами этой весовой категории. Я представляю бой и не вижу шансов у Стрикленда, что он сможет остановить Хабиба борьбу.
Question was, we saw in an interview that you said that Khabib is in such a good shape right now that he can even come back and he can win a bunch of guys, including Sean Strickland, who's a champion now. Why is it specifically that you're speaking about somebody like Strickland when you talk about Khabib coming back and fighting? And the answer is, I see the way he is, I see the kind of shape that he is, I see how much he weighs, and that's the weight. I see the way he works and wrestles with the guys that are the same weight as Strickland as a champion. So I know that for him it wouldn't be a problem. It's not even a question for him to come in and beat somebody like Strickland.
Спасибо.
Islam, just wanted to get your thoughts. Seems like all the praise has gone to Alexander Volkanovski for taking the fight on such short notice. Do you feel like you're not getting enough respect for also accepting the fight with 11 days notice?
Все говорят о том, что какой молодец Алекс, потому что он так на коротком удавлении выходит. Не кажется ли тебе, что ты тоже заслуживаешь похвалы за то, что ты согласен с ним драться на таком коротком уведомлении?
I know Dana tell about this. He gave me big respect because I took the fight when they changed, But this is the way how UFC champion have to do, and I don't need any respect because this fight, like soon or later, have to be, and this rematch, what I really want.
Assalamu alaikum, Islam.
Salam.
Islam, not just in the UAE, but also in Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Jordan, Palestine. You have so many fans in the Middle East now that 5 years ago, even now, maybe they don't even watch MMA or they don't know the UFC, but they know Islam Makhachev, they know Habib, they know Usman, they know Omar. What does this do for you? How do you feel knowing that there is an entire 350 million people that will always come to watch and support you and your team?
feel awesome because I know all the people from all Islamic country, or not just Islamic country, they support me a lot, and that's why I really like to fight in Abu Dhabi, because they all can come easy to Abu Dhabi and watch my fight live here. And I just want to say thank you. And I have to show, good example for all the people.
Thank you. Good luck, champ.
Thank you, guys.
Magomed, right here. Obviously, welcome back to Abu Dhabi. I'm curious, it's been a while since we last saw you fight. You fought in December of last year. We haven't seen you since. So how have the last few months been for you health-wise, and how's camp been leading up to this fight?
Добро пожаловать в Абу-Даби, во-первых. Ну и во-вторых, мы уже давным-давно тебя не видели. Последний бой был в декабре. Просто расскажи, пожалуйста, как себя чувствуешь, как прошли эти месяцы, когда тебя не было, как здоровье, как лагерь?
Чувствую себя хорошо. Да, меня долгое время не было. Я думаю, это время прошло на пользу. Мы заряжены и готовы показать хороший, зрелищный бой.
Thank you for the welcome. I feel great. Yeah, it's been a long time since I fought, but this time wasn't spent for nothing. I think this time was spent really well. We worked on our stuff and our skills. I think we're super ready. We're ready to show a great fight.
After your last fight, that was a draw. You were pretty vocal that you felt you were the deserving champion. So I'm curious now, that was so long ago. Do you still feel like you are the rightful and deserving champion of the light heavyweight division?
После последнего боя ты был достаточно громко заявил о том, что ты победил этот бой, и чемпионом должен был быть ты. Сейчас прошло какое-то время, уже, может быть, чуть-чуть остыл. Как ты думаешь, сейчас до сих пор ты считаешь, что ты выиграл тот бой и заслуживаешь быть чемпионом в этом дивизионе?
Конечно, я пересмотрел этот бой. Я выиграл этот бой чистую. Но просто выигрывать не хватает. Я понимаю, здесь нужно показывать зрелище. И мы проделали хорошую работу, чтобы исправить все ошибки и показать хорошие зрелищные бои и заканчивать их досрочно.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've rewatched the fight a couple times, and I still believe that there's no question that I came out a winner that time around, but I understand that it's not just about winning, it's about putting on a show. So I think we've done a lot of work, we've corrected the mistakes that we had, and I'm ready to show exciting fights and not just win, but win before the end of the fight.
Well, going off of that, Johnny was in here earlier, and he said he thinks that you need to do more outside of the fight so people want to watch you fight and maybe be more exciting even before you step into the octagon. So I'm curious, what do you make of Johnny's assessment of your ability to sell a fight?
Насчет того, что ты говоришь, что нужно показывать зрелищные бои, здесь был твой соперник Джонни Уокер, и он сказал, что чем ты должен заняться, это быть зрелищным еще до боя, еще как бы до клетки, каким-то образом привлекать к себе внимание, чтобы люди хотели смотреть твои бои. Как ты думаешь, что ты думаешь об этом, о том, что он сказал?
Ну, я думаю, это правильно, нужно сделать. Ну, у меня получается так пока. Я не говорю пока на английском, и мне чуть тяжело этим заниматься.
Yeah, possibly, maybe he's right, you know, but this is the way it's working out for me right now. Maybe because I don't speak English yet, it's not that easy for me to be so outspoken and well-spoken outside of the octagon. But, you know, I'll work on that.
What do you make of Johnny as an opponent? He obviously had that losing streak for a while, but he's since righted it, and he's admitted that he's a different fighter now. So what do you make of his skill set and the developments in his game?
Как ты думаешь, что ты думаешь о Джонни Уокере как своем сопернике? Да, у него были какие-то проигрыши, но с тех пор он как бы много изменил, уже вышел на победную серию. Вообще, что ты думаешь о нем как о сопернике, о его навыках и так далее?
Я думаю, это отличный бой. Я думаю, мы оба покажем очень хороший зрелищный бой, так как боец бывший, интересный. И я думаю, в этом бою даже будет, может быть, шоу, и посмотрим.
I think he's a great opponent. I think he's a strong opponent. I think this is going to be an exciting fight. We're going to show a pretty exciting fight. I think this is a good matchup for the two of us to be in there, and I think we'll put on a show. So I think it's going to be fun.
Final one for me. What are your thoughts on the vacant title fight between Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka coming up?
Последний вопрос от меня насчет того, что сейчас нету чемпиона, будет бой между Прохашкой и Перейрой за пояс. Как ты думаешь, кто победит? И вообще, что ты думаешь о том, что пояс еще пока что не забран?
Ну, Прохазка и Перейра — это такой интересный бой. Я думаю, если бой продлится долго, 5 раундов, я думаю, выиграет Прохаска, а так у Париера есть шанс. Но я об этом пока не думаю. Я нацелен на бой. Мне нужно выиграть этот бой хорошо, чтобы получить бой за пояс.
I think that's an exciting fight. I think the two of them make for a fun fight. I think if the fight lasts 5 rounds, then Prochazka is the one that's going to have the win. But if it goes fast, then maybe it's going to be Pereira. But it's not something that I'm thinking about just now. Now I have a fight that I have to concentrate on in front of me, and then we'll talk about titles.
Magomed, just want to, you mentioned you're working on your English. How has it been going so far? Have you found it challenging, or are you picking it up well?
Ты говоришь, что начинаешь работать над своим английским. Как для тебя это, ты пытаешься его улучшить, и насколько для тебя это сложно улучшить английский?
Ну, мне пока тяжело, но учусь. Я думаю, в скором времени мы уже заговорим.
For now, it's a bit difficult, but I'm learning it, and I'm pretty sure that soon you'll hear me speak in English.
And you mentioned the adjustments you've made to maybe your style, your mentality towards some of these fights. Where do you strike the balance in between trying to be exciting and trying to fight where you know you're the best and going for the win?
Ты говоришь, что ты поработал над тем, чтобы улучшить свои навыки. Где, ты думаешь, проходит черта между тем, чтобы быть и интересным, и зрелищным бойцом, и бойцом, у которого хорошие отработанные навыки?
Ну, я думаю, зрителям больше нравится ударка и агрессивность в бою. Я думаю, это самое важное в нашем деле.
I think that the fans, they mostly like the stand-up fights, the striking fights, and I think aggression is the most exciting thing in this type of business.
Yeah, just want to know your thoughts on the main event. What's your prediction, and who do you think is going to win?
Can you say that one more time?
A prediction for the main event.
Ты можешь предсказать, кто выиграет главное событие? Макхачев или Волконовский?
Ну, я думаю, Макхачев. Почему? Потому что он больше и долго готовился. Волконовский уходит со сколько? За 10 дней, по-моему, уходит. Поэтому, не только поэтому, я думаю, Ислам лучше.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Makhachev. I mean, first of all, because he prepared for longer and he prepared harder. So Volkanovski is coming out on a takedown notice. And I think even if it wasn't that, I think Makhachev is going to get him no matter what.
Магомед, приветствую. Вадим Тихомиров, сайт matchtv.ru. Ты называл мне в интервью своих спарринг-партнеров, но ты их перечислял в общем. А вот можешь сказать последний, например, тяжелый спарринг? Кто это был, с кем ты спарринговал? Кто был тот человек, кто помогал тебе готовиться к Джонни Уокеру?
We had an interview before, and you listed a whole bunch of different sparring partners of yours. But specifically for this fight, for Johnny Walker, can you list your main sparring partners or somebody who helped you prepare for Johnny Walker specifically?
Ну, можно назвать Резвана Куниева, Рашид Юсупов, Али Исаев. Ну, их много, если кого-то забуду. Я думаю, это будет неправильно. Ну, в основном тяжелые спарринги с этими людьми.
Скажи имена еще раз. Али Исаев,
Резван Куниев и Рашид Юсупов.
Резван Куниев, Рашид Юсупов и Антигулов. Это тоже очень тяжелый спарринг.
Okay, so those are the names. We got Ali Isaev, we got Rizvan Kuniev, and последний как зовут еще?
Антигулов, Качмурат.
Kachmurat and Tigulov. Those are the main guys that I can name. Those are the guys that got me prepared for this one.
Джонни Уокер нестандартный боец. Визуализируешь ли ты как-то первое техническое действие, которое он сделает в клетке, стоя напротив тебя? Вот чего ты в первую очередь ожидаешь, что он сделает?
Johnny Walker is a very unorthodox fighter. You can expect anything from him. Is there something that you visualize that he will come out and throw out at you right away? Is there like a special move or something that you think that he's going to throw out at you?
Я не собираюсь его ждать. У нас есть план, мы будем охотиться за его головой.
I'm not waiting to see what he's going to throw out. We have a game plan, and we are hunting for his head.
Джонни предлагал, Магомед, да, слева тебя. Джонни говорил, когда его спрашивали о раскрутке этого боя, что тебе стоит сделать что-то такое сумасшедшее, безумное, что-то бросить в кого-то. Расскажи, насколько ты далек от такого образа.
Johnny was saying that in order to promote this fight, to make it exciting, you have to like do something completely out of the ordinary, something that's not like you at all, maybe throw something at somebody. Can you please tell me how far away from doing something like that you are?
Ну, я понимаю, здесь больше всего смотрят на это. Но я потихоньку начинаю понимать, что это уже необходимо. Мы думаем, в дальнейшем будет какое-то шоу, что-нибудь интересное придумаем.
I understand that doing something crazy like that is what gets the viewership up, and I'm starting to understand that this is something that maybe is necessary going forward. We're working on it, we're working on something, so soon you can probably expect a show.
А у тебя был один такой случай, когда ты показал зрителям недовольный жест. Насколько это для тебя было тоже необычным чем-то, настолько проявить свои эмоции?
There was a thing once where you showed a gesture that made the audience upset. So how out of the ordinary was it for you to do something like that?
Да, это было после боя. Меня свистывали все, и я не смог держать в себя эмоции.
Yeah, it was after a fight, and it seemed as though everyone was booing me, and so I couldn't control my emotion, and that's why the gesture happened.
Спасибо.
Магомед, вопрос к тебе. Недавно такая завирусилась история о том, что Алекс Перейра подарил своему другу, своему партнеру и тренеру Харли Дэвидсон. И вот я знаю, что твой тренер тоже Сухраб, он ездит на мотоциклах. Есть ли тоже у тебя в планах, может быть, если выиграешь этот бой, ему мотоцикл новый подогнать?
A little bit of a time ago, we saw a video of Alex Pereira gifting Glover Teixeira a Harley Davidson. I know that your coach Sukhrab also rides motorcycles, so have you ever thought about maybe gifting him something like that?
Не знаю, посмотрим.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
А ты вообще, после каких-то больших своих побед дарил своим тренерам, может быть, какие-то большие подарки?
Have you ever gifted some?
Но это не озвучивают. Почему? Потому что у спортсменов, у тренеров бывают свои моменты, и они решат это между собой скрытно. Поэтому подарки бывают, да, но мы обычно это не говорим.
The question was, have you ever had a moment where after a big fight you have gifted something to your coaches? And the answer is, this is something private between a fighter and a coach. This is not something that you go and you put on social media or yell about. This is something that happens between you and them. It's sort of like a behind closed doors, so it's not something I want to discuss.
И от меня заключительный вопрос. Много было сказано про то, что тебе надо как-то более ярко себя показывать вне клетки, чтобы о тебе говорили. Но вот этот турнир, он очень на имена громкий. Здесь прям будут и чемпионские противостояния, и будут там бойцы, которые pound for pound и были первыми номерами. И являются. Не боишься ли ты потеряться на их фоне вот на этом турнире?
A lot of questions have been asked about the fact that you need to promote the fights better or do something specific to put the attention on your fight. On this specific fight card, there's lots of guys that have big, loud names. There's guys that are in a pound for pound ranking. Are you afraid that maybe with all of this talent and all of these big names, you will be lost in the midst of the card?
Я вопрос не понял, еще раз можно повторить?
Ты дерешься на турнире, который, по сути, главный турнир этого года точно для стран СНГ. И не боишься ли ты, что твой бой потеряется вот на фоне боя Ислама Макхачева против Алекса Волкановски, на фоне Чимаева против Усмана?
Нет, я не думаю об этом. Почему? Потому что у каждого бой, каждый будет пытаться показать зрелищный бой. Поэтому я не беспокоюсь об этом.
No, I'm not worried about that. I know everybody has a big fight in front of them. Everybody wants to show an exciting fight. So this is not something that I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the fight in front of me. Guys, we have room for one more question if somebody wants to ask one. That's it? All right, so.
Khamzat. Obviously, the last few camps, we've seen you cutting down to welterweight. This is your first fight at middleweight. So how has camp been not having to cut all that extra weight?
You know, first fight. I think a couple of fights. I think I have 4 fights. I did this weight class as well, before UFC as well, and in the UFC twice. So everyone thinking I'm the first time for me. It's not first time. Feels good, feels amazing, happy, you know. So I'm not that guy, just wants to cut 20 kilos and die, you know, and the best. I just want to die in the cage if I die, like a warrior, you know.
When we heard that Paulo Costa wasn't going to be able to fight, were you surprised, considering the previous fights that he had, he never ended up taking those fights either?
Actually, when they said to me I'm gonna fight this guy, I was always thinking about the guy can jump out, whatever. So because he had so many fights, he jumped out and he didn't make weight. And everyone speak about I didn't make weight, you know, once in my life. And there was some plans to do that some way. It's not my plans, but I can't say everything here. And yeah, you know. But everyone speak about my weight, not Paulo Costa's. I don't know how many times he missed weight.
So are you moved on from Paulo Costa in your fight career, or do you think you'll ever be booked with him again?
No, if you hold it on the top, of course gonna fight him. So I'm not here like to fight once, twice, you know, at least I'm gonna be in 10 years, so minimum. So we'll see.
Were there any other names besides Kamaru Usman that they offered you?
What?
Did they offer anyone else besides Kamaru?
I don't know, man. So in the morning, my manager called me, you fight Usman. And I say, okay, let's go. For me, it doesn't matter. So when I heard and sees the media, he's jumping out, he wasn't 100% sure. I write to Dana White, I said, brother, please give me someone I need to fight. And then my manager called me, I delete the message.
Did you always know that at some point you would be fighting Kamaru, considering he was the champion at welterweight, and even he said that you two would have fought eventually?
What?
Знал ли ты, что тебе придется драться с Камару в какой-то момент, потому что он уже давно был чемпионом в полусреднем, и ты говорил, что ты придешь в полусредний и будешь драться?
If he has the belt, I should go down. But the guy don't have the belt, that's why he doesn't want to go down for 77, you know, cut the weight for nothing. If it's gold there, of course I'm gonna cut the weight, but he couldn't take the belt, so that's why he asked who is that guy, and I'm Khamzat Chimaev. That's why you come up and fighting with me, you know. And the guy come for money, and the money fight is me.
Well, going off of that, it seems fans are more excited for your fight against Kamaru than they are for Paulo. So have you felt that now there's more interest in this fight than your previous fight?
Yeah, of course, because since day one I get to the UFC, everyone spoke about like Khamzat Usman, our wrestling skills and striking, all these things, you know. Usman is like a fighter like me, but he's old version, I'm new, you know, it's like different. Like iPhones come out, his iPhone's 5, I'm like pro, you know. So different. So, yeah.
Khamzat right here. Obviously the last fight you won very quickly, but that was a year ago. Why has it taken so long for you to fight again?
I don't know, man. Same question for you guys, for Dana White, for UFC. I can show a lot of message to these guys. Give me a fight, give me a fight. So, and I want to fight with the best guys, and they want to me put in somebody, you know, who has the name, not with the guys who's nobody. There are a lot of guys, young guys, new guys, and I want to fight Khamzat, I want to fight, but they didn't did anything to fight with me, you know. It's not fun to watch if I'm gonna smash somebody who nobody knows. It's not gonna make money for UFC as well. That's why I think it's hold a long time, you know.
Has it been frustrating because everyone got to know you because you were so active and you had that record of the closest wins, and now you're sitting on the sidelines for 13 months?
Yeah, anyway, it's like every week I have the fights twice in the gym. my sparring is not like a sparring, like a fight, you know. When you spar with me, we spar real, man. And people think I've been out long time, so I don't care, man. So if I've been 10 years out, I'm gonna be same Khamzat in the cage.
Is that what's maybe very exciting about this fight? Dana White said the winner will be getting a title shot against Sean Strickland, and if you become the champion, you know that you're going to be fighting because there's always going to be a contender.
Actually, I don't think about this fight now. Right now, I just focus on Usman. But they promised me, like I said before, Gilbert Burns, if you win with this guy against this guy, I'm gonna fight for the title. And since then, 2 years ago, you know, I fight again as well, but didn't get the title. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm not after that get just title. I'm going after all heads in the UFC, you know. Yeah, smash somebody, make money, be happy, man. If I finish everyone, stop everyone, they have to give me all belts, you know. So.
The fight people always thought was going to happen was you and Israel Adesanya for the title, but now Sean Strickland's the champion. What did you think of Strickland's win over Adesanya?
Actually, I was thinking about if Easy not knock him out, he gonna win, but it's happened. He couldn't knock him out first round. I was thinking if the guy just pressure him, Easy gonna get tired. Because all these guys, Easy fought, they play easy game. So Easy good on his game, you know, when just doing technique. Don't need to care about just like Sean Strickland went in, like me, you know, and straight in the punch, so smash faces, you know. So just need to drive in. And now everyone knows how to win against Easy, you know, how to make him tired. And when I fought this fight, win this fight, and Sean Strickland, maybe somebody else, and after that, Easy will come as well. If he's young, he's still fresh, man. So we're gonna fight White Knight as well.
And what do you think of Sean Strickland? I know you guys have trained together in the past. Do you think that's a good matchup for you?
Well, match is good for me, man. He makes money.
And just finally on Kamaru, how do you think your wrestling matches up with him? He has the highest takedown defense in UFC history for someone who's been attempted 20 takedowns against them. That's how you qualify for the stat. What do you think of his wrestling?
It's American wrestling, brother. It's mountain wrestling, man. It's big different. So actually, guys, you remember like what Khabib did to Gaethje? And I seen some videos when Gaethje and Usman wrestling. They wrestle like 50-50 maybe Usman became a bit heavier, a little bit better. But Khabib shows wrestling skills, our skills, you know. So everyone knows almost same style in the wrestling. Me and Khabib, gonna be same shit, man.
Khamzat. Actually, sorry, just one more. Just because you mentioned the American wrestling, Bo Nickel said he wanted this fight. He was hoping they would call him. He said your wrestling is trash and his American wrestling would beat yours. Is that a fight you think will happen one day between you and Bo?
Man, the guy think big bullshit, this guy, man. I don't know what he's saying. He's not wrestling for the points, man. Here, we don't play wrestling. He's fighting, man. I don't care, somebody takes me down, I'm gonna come up and smash his face, man. I don't think so, this guy gonna come to the cage and come and take me down, no. It's not wrestling. We don't stay like wrestlers, man, with this wrestling shit close, man.
Khamzat, Salam, just one from me. Is welterweight behind you? Do you think you would ever go back to welterweight, or is middleweight your future?
Yeah, of course, for the gold, I told long time, I tried to get that title here in Abu Dhabi, but Leon didn't say anything. And yeah, if they give me the gold there, of course I'm gonna go take my history, you know. So I'm at least out from 3 divisions, so still focus on that. Yeah, of course it's hard for me, gonna be hard for me. Don't make me die, I'm gonna do that.
And Leon is going to fight Colby. Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Leon gonna win the fight.
Thank you.
Khamzat, you've previously been quoted saying in the octagon that you'll kill everybody. Do you want to just clarify what you meant by that and how that relates to your fight with Kamaru Usman?
What, brother?
Ты раньше говорил в октагоне, что ты готов всех просто размазать, убить. Что это означает и насколько это относится именно к Узману?
For everyone, man. If somebody fights me, if you, it doesn't matter. Your cousin, and he's Usman's cousin. Doesn't matter for me in the cage. I come here to kill everybody, man.
I don't want to fight you, but also Paulo Costa, his elbow injury looks very serious. I don't know if you've seen the reports that it's quite worse than what was originally thought. Have you had a chance to see his elbow?
Yeah, I seen. And his wife putting everyone his pictures. His wife doing everything for him. His media, everything. Some guys sent to me. His wife put up this, and he's had some problems with his elbow. I hope he's gonna get good, man. And the guy just tried to make money, but he lost his chance. He went home out money, you know. So of course, when somebody gets surgery, it's not good, man. Yeah. Anyway, if he could come to the cage, it will be more bad for him. So I could hurt him more.
He got off easy.
Салам алейкум, Хамзат. Магомед Анкалаев в интервью мне рассказывал, что Шона Стрикленда тяжело удержать на земле. Ты же работал с Шоном в Америке, так ли это?
Magomed Ankalaev told me in an interview that Sean Strickland is really hard to keep on the ground after a takedown. You worked with Strickland before. Do you agree with that? The assessment that it's really hard to keep him down?
Не знаю. Я удержал его, я душил его, бил его. Он хороший боец, не знаю, ну, духовитый парень. Камбой какой-то, знаешь, как из фильма. А так, если технически сравнивать нас, я на другом уровне. И в борьбе, и в грэпплинге, и в стойке. Так, сам он боец, реальный боец. Не будет там сидеть, просто ждать. Будет вперед, как я. Хочу подраться с любым. Хочу с Шоном Стриклендом тоже подраться. Хотя мы тренировались, у нас нет таких непривязанностей, каких-то драк, ничего не было. В зале тренировались, спарринги делали. Вроде нормальный чувак. Ну, деньги заработают, с ним любым подерусь.
You know, I mean, I've taken him down, I've held him down, I've choked him, I've punched him. I mean, I've done all those things, so I don't see anything, you know, something special about him. Basically, he's a fighter's fighter. He's a good fighter. You know, if you look at him, he's like a, you know, an American cowboy, like from the movies. That's the kind of guy he is. But, you know, we've done our work in the gym together, and if they offer him to me, if I can fight him for the belt, that's what I'll do. You know, I make the money, get the belt. I have nothing against him. I think that if you compare us on a skill levels wise, I'm levels above him. I'm in a whole different stratosphere from him. So, you know, he's not a threat to me. But, you know, he's a good guy. He's a good fighter. And if I can, I'd fight anybody. I'd ready to fight anyone. So if there's a belt there, I'll fight him, no problem, even Strickland.
Чем завершится твоя возможная встреча с Пауло Костой на острове Яс? Чем завершится встреча? Я знаю, ну, я спрашиваю, у них же лично. Учитывая, что...
If Paulo Costa was here, what would be the end of your fight together? What would be the result of you fighting Paulo Costa here on Yas Island?
На русском.
Про встречу не бой. Если встреча чего на острове Яс.
Oh, if you just see him, not a fight, but if you see him on Island Yas, Paulo Costa, what would happen?
I could see him many times. My guys was around him, you know. He gets stressed. Maybe that's why he gets more infection in his elbow. And my older brother here, he said to me when he says anything, I can't do something, you know, against him. He said, don't punch him before the fight or after the fight. It's not our style. And he's alone with his team, and we here 100 guys, you know, this will be bad. If me, only him, and we meet somewhere, like, would be different. And when I come with a lot of guys behind me and one guy just stand there and he gets stressed, you know, our people, I'm the man who always fought like 1-1. And sometimes a lot of people jump on me, but I fight still. Should be fighting against again 1-1. And still he was surgery, hurting, and if I beat him outside as well, he gonna find the excuses with his elbow.
У нас было много возможностей встретиться, это не так, что я не могу его найти, то есть возможности были, я думаю, что причина, почему у него развилась инфекция в локте, потому что он так сильно нервничает, что он на меня наткнется, что у него инфекция еще хуже стала. Вот. Но в принципе мне старший брат сказал, не трогай его, что мы так не делаем, мы не в клетке, если мы не в клетке, его трогать не нужно. А вообще, что он может сделать? Я приехал сюда, за мной целая команда, здесь много ребят со мной, поэтому понятное дело, что мы можем их размазать. В принципе, я не привык к этому, я знаю, что биться нужно 1 на 1, я много драк выигрывал 1 на 1, были моменты, когда были много людей против меня, я один должен был себя защищать, но в принципе, если мы будем драться 1 на 1, понятное дело, что будет.
А правда то, что ты отправлял личные сообщения будущей жене Паула Косты?
Is it true that you send personal messages to his future wife?
No, she's writing to me. She deleted the message. She write to me, please, Khamzat, don't take it like serious and like he wants to make money. And she delete that. And I just send a picture to her and that funny picture to just have fun. And I don't know against anything his wife. You know, she write to me like it's not personally and don't take it. We try to make money and yeah, but I send a picture and I told her. People don't make money that way, you know. You have to be a man. Anyway, jokes, I understand. Trash talk, but it has to be on one line, you know. So don't jump over on this shit, you know.
Ну, она просто написала мне, что она мне сама написала, говорит, пожалуйста, не принимай это близко к сердцу, мы просто это все делаем для того, чтобы заработать денег. Ну и тогда я послала ей эту фотографию и все, и просто сказал, что ну вот тебе фотография. Она просто сама написала мне, сказала, пожалуйста, не принимай это близко к сердцу. Но я понимаю, что такое говорить, чтобы развить интерес к бою, я все это понимаю, но должна быть какая-то черта. Если ты какие-то вещи говоришь, ты должен за свои слова отвечать. Поэтому если ты просто шутишь и пытаешься заработать деньги, то знай, когда остановиться.
Хамзат, приветствую. Я недавно записывал интервью с Мухаммадом Берхамовым и Саидом Сапаровым. Это тренер и боец зала Kill Cliff. Это люди, которые тиммейты Камару Усмана. И вот они оба не верят совсем в Камару Усмана. А у тебя есть какое-то разочарование, что Камару вот выходит там, на коротком уведомлении, то есть не на своей какой-то пиковой форме, и вот по сути в него никто не верит, и все верят в тебя?
I did an interview recently with the coaches from the Kill Cliff gym. And they specifically do not believe that Kamaru Usman has a chance. Do you think that him coming out only 10-day notice is making his chances even less? What do you think about his chances?
The guy come just to make money, you know. Spend a lot of money putting on that. I think he gets a lot of good money. When somebody fight me, you know, it's different level money, you know. So that's why he's here. I don't think so. Of course he comes for win. Everyone comes for the fight to win, and he has already excuses, he gets paid, you know, so I think that's why he comes, you know. Everyone here, like a lot of the guys talks about my history, my this, about this shit, you know. When somebody put the money, you know, our millions, so one day everyone will forget about that, man. Thinking guy's gonna have his money for his family. That's why everyone here, I think.
Ну, понятное дело, что мужик просто выходит, чтобы заработать деньги. Это понятно, что когда ты дерешься со мной, другие деньги на кону, поэтому он пришел просто заработать. Да, понятно, что он выходит за победой, мы все выходим за победой, но по-настоящему, если поговорить, то это просто про деньги. Когда-нибудь все эти разговоры про деньги, они забудутся, и люди поймут, что нужно сражаться за что-то другое, но в принципе он просто пришел заработать.
Сейчас с тобой зашли в зал Расул Басханов и Абдулрахман Дудаев. Это ребята, которые с тобой, я так понимаю, присутствуют, но они выступают на легчайшей весовой категории, они просто тебя как-то морально поддерживают или как-то, может, тебе помогают в тренировочном процессе?
The couple of guys that you have with you, the fighters, they're in a lightweight and featherweight, so they're small. Are they here with you just to help you out? They're kind of like your moral support, or these are the guys that you actually train with?
И еще вот тоже в завершении, кто будет в углу именно у тебя, кто-то из них?
And just to add, do you have any of those guys in your corner with you or not?
No, just the guys is my best brothers and my close brothers. We know each other a long time, so we did train wrestling a long time. And when I was on UFC, I was a fighter, and they met me, and Rasul helped me with a lot of things before I get somebody, and Rahman being close to me. The guys, my brothers, and they're a little bit older than me. They've been a long time in the fighting game. It's good to have them close. It's not, yeah, we training together, but different weight classes. The guys has experience and with fighting, you know. So it's good to have them. You don't need the weight classes. I have my weight class, Yakub, it's 5-0, young guy, you know. So in ACA, fighting ACA in Russia. A lot of talent guys being in this camp, you know, fresh, young, and who wants to be fighter, you know. No, I didn't bring anyone who was like old, who wants to just be in training. I want the guys that wants to win, you know. So young, hungry, all these guys that was with me in my camp. It's my brothers, you know, from Chechnya, so I love them. That's why they're close to me.
Эти ребята мои братья, я долго их знаю, мы долгое время тренируемся, еще до того, как я был в UFC, мы друг друга знали. Эти ребята чуть постарше, у них есть очень много опыта, мы как бы друг другу помогаем, мы знали друг друга долгое время, поэтому хорошо, что они здесь. У меня в лагере в основном все молодые ребята, не просто ребята, которые приезжают посмотреть, а ребята, которые хотят побед, ребята, которые занимаются спортом, которые учатся чему-то от меня, я могу их тоже чему-то научить, поэтому это просто мои братья, мои знакомые, с ними хорошо, и я знаю, что когда они рядом, у меня все получается.
Obviously, throughout your career, you've been fighting a lot in Las Vegas and the UK and everything, but we haven't really got to see you fight out here. So, did you want to be on this card when they did announce it, or were you, more comfortable fighting in the Vegas and the UK cards?
No, of course, I wanted to fight on this card, but either way, it doesn't matter. As a professional, you sign the contract, and wherever the location is, it doesn't matter.
What do you make of your opponent, Victor Henry? He's had a long career, but he's still relatively new to the UFC. So when his name came across your desk on the contract, what did you make of it?
No, I was excited because as far as I'm concerned, this is a top 15 fight. Rankings or no rankings, if me and him are ranked, it doesn't matter. The caliber of this fight is top 15. Me and him are both better than a lot of guys in the top 15. And just because he hasn't fought in the UFC, he fought a lot of good guys outside the UFC. So yeah, it's a great fight, He's a good fighter.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were scheduled to fight earlier, but then it kind of got pushed back. So was it important to keep this fight? Did you like this matchup specifically?
No, to be honest, I just do whatever my manager tells me to do, and whatever the matchmakers say. This fight was supposed to be September 23rd, and I was ready for September 23rd. I actually wanted an opponent, to fill in, and then we could do this one too, But it didn't work out that way. Nobody wanted to step up. I get it, and now we're here.
And his style, his catch wrestling style, you don't see that a lot in current day MMA. He's pretty vocal that he likes to represent that style of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you make of his style and skill set in a way that we don't really see much these days?
No, catch wrestling's been around for a long time, but now it's seen as an awkward style because not many people do it. But I grapple with the highest level of grapplers in the world. My coach is Jake Shields. I train with Jason Manley regularly. I got Patchy Mix, Kobe Fair, my brother Farid. Like Amir Albazi. These are all the best grapplers in the world. And so I'll be prepared for anything. It doesn't matter, catch wrestling, jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to do.
How has it been training with Patchy and his preparation for his title fight?
Patchy's he's a great fighter. You know, I'm glad he's getting his shine now. You know, he's really stepped up a notch, and it's going to be a great fight between him and Sergio.
A lot of people think he's the best bantamweight in the world, regardless of promotion. So I'm curious, what do you think after training with him?
Sorry, what's that?
A lot of people think that even though he's not in the UFC, that he is still the best bantamweight in the world. I'm curious what you think.
No, he's a great fighter. Honestly, he's one of the best guys I've trained with for sure. He's definitely one of the best fighters in the world. Best bantamweights for sure. One of the best bantamweights. Styles make fights everywhere, you know. So you can't really say it until it happens. But he gets this title, you know. He's making a strong case for himself.
Assalamu alaikum, Javid.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Javid, your Contender Series fight has earned you so many fans in this part of the world. How has the reception been since you've been in Abu Dhabi, and how are you feeling with the crowd in the Middle East?
Yeah, that fight went viral, of course, because of the way I handled it and the beating I gave the guy, as well as the comments he made. People have always been nice to me, you know, especially after that fight, and especially here in this side of the world. They've been super supportive, always sending me messages that I'm representing them, and it's great, man. It's a great honor, bro. I really like it. I like the pressure of these things, you know. It puts pressure on myself to represent them correctly as well, and but that's it. But ultimately, all of that stuff is noise. You know, it's great to have the fans by your side, but it's noise. You know, when me and Victor are locked in the cage, the fights don't fight for me. You know.
We've been watching you and your brother and Amir Al-Bazi on this journey that you've gone through from the UK now to being in Vegas and going full time. And you know, we read the stories about you sleeping in your car. Has it dawned on you guys yet how far you've actually come and where this is going, knowing that Amir is on the verge of a title shot? You're quickly becoming a superstar in your division. Your brother's on the rise. Has that all sunk in just yet?
You know, this is a very good question. Sometimes I'll get thoughts to myself, and I'll think like, wow, man, look how far we've come. But then those thoughts just kind of like fade away because like the job isn't done. You know, we haven't done anything compared to what we're going to do. You know, so it's been a great journey. You know, it's good. It's very important to enjoy the journey, but there's no room for complacency. And me fighting this Saturday night is just going to be another step to all of us achieving our dreams. You know, Amir's got big fights on the horizon. He should be fighting for the title next. My brother is a great fighter. You know, he's the most underrated fighter on the roster. You know, and I'm going to show my worth on Saturday as well.
We can't wait to see you. Good luck, Javid.
Thank you.
Just wanted the prediction for the main event. Who you got?
Main event, it's got to be Islam for me. I really like Volkanovski, his fight style. But Islam, full camp, and last time, even though it was a competitive fight, I still thought he had 4 rounds in the bag. And he's a great fighter, man. Islam's going to be very hard to beat. I don't see anyone in the division beating him. Thank you, guys.
Well, Abu.
Hi, guys.
Hello. It's obviously been a while since we last saw you. I think that was even back when you had to fight in the Apex before the pay-per-views were in front of crowds again. So how have the last several months been for you health-wise and in training and everything?
First, hi everybody. Bismillah. Yeah, it's been a long time. You know, as you know, guys, the last time when I fought in Apex in Las Vegas, it was one of the hardest time what we all had with the coronavirus, and it was like not my best preparation. I don't want to excuse it or something like, but I did it. I flight, I trained a bit, and I had a hard fight. It's okay. How was the decision like? We wasn't happy with that. After that, you know, I take some rest, and you know, as you know, guys, the life have up and downs, and the whole life is a fight with ourselves, with everything. So then we had a good preparation, and yeah, we are happy to be here. We prepared for this fight. Doesn't matter for me that I didn't fight for a long time or something. I take it like I had a fight a few months ago, because it wasn't that what I expect, because I lost the last fight, and I'm not happy with that, and I take it personally. Me and my brothers and family, we are not the kind of types we take the lose like, we take it sportly, but we take it personally, so it stays in our mind, and we want always to cut this capital, change it with the good memories in this fight. So alhamdulillah for that what happened, and I hope everything will be good.
And what do you make of Cendrix as an opponent? I believe you guys were scheduled to fight earlier, and this has been rebooked. So what do you make of his skill set when you step in there?
First of all, I had to fight this guy, and as I said, you guys always don't see me so much. You see me in social media, but you don't see me a lot with the media. So I don't share my private life so much, like what I mean with private life, like with up and downs in my life, in the private life. I don't share it with people or the media. So what happened behind the scenes, because everybody shared the good moments, and every fighter knows from what I'm talking, you know, today you are winning, everybody is with you, you're losing, and the fake faces, double faces, they skip away. Also, some of the media today, they write good about you, tomorrow, you know, this is an unthankful business, and alhamdulillah, you know, I used to fight this guy. I had some issues. I was delayed. UFC was delayed with the visa process, and they didn't give me the visa so early, so I could not make it on time to fly to US.
But now everything is good, everything is fixed. I got my visa after that, and we skipped the fight. I used to fight in Paris, but I skipped it for Abu Dhabi because it's much better, and I like to be here and to fight in Abu Dhabi.
And obviously last month was a difficult time for your country, Morocco, because of the earthquake. Has this added pressure to you, or do you want to go out there and kind of set an example for your countrymen that are going through hard times?
It is very sad, you know. It's hurt us, and yeah, the guys and the kids, the women, the people who died there, I think they are now in better place than us, you know, because to have this accident is not always nice. We did what we could do, me and my family and my team. We tried to help for Sabilillah, for Allah, to help these guys to do, because if we got this platform and this position to do something, and we tried our best to help, to get, as you saw, we get all united. It brought us all together. Sometimes it happened in life accidentally, like something bring us all together, and we show the whole world how united we are. And thank for everybody and His Majesty. He did the greatest job, and yeah, and we show our power together to help it, to help them. And I did what I could do, not enough, but Alhamdulillah, it was in my preparation. But those things give you power and give you strength to help it. It touches personally, but Alhamdulillah for everything. God don't make mistake, and it was written already that's gonna happen, and Alhamdulillah for that. So, yes, you see what happened around the world. Everybody today is good, tomorrow not good. People dying, kids dying everywhere, and we ask Allah to have mercy and to be peace with them. And this is always not nice to see. It's not about Morocco or Palestine or Israel or around the world, everywhere in Africa or something. It's take us personally, and it's not nice to see, because if you skip the social media, you always see people dying, kids, and people needs help. This is always not nice to see, and it comes in this situation, in this fight week, and somewhere they have it much better than us. So it's very sad, and we hope that Allah have mercy and peace with them. So, yeah. Meow. Thank you, guys.
Hello, one question. How are you?
Thank you, everybody. It was nice to see you.
Good afternoon.
I don't think any of us expected to see you here, but it is nice to see you. Talk us through the what must have been a bit of a crazy process for you to get here and fight on Saturday.
I mean, it's not the first time, you know. And how crazy is it? Same location. So I think this has kind of been my whole career. It's been preparing me for moments like this. After my first ever professional fight, I couldn't get a fight for a long, long time. But you just had to stay in the gym and then hopefully get a fight on a couple weeks and jump in. And so this is what we do. Fighters fight.
Now, there is a difference though, right? Last time you were champion, it felt like the card was on your back and this guy came in to fight you. This time it's you coming in to fight a guy who everyone's saying is this unstoppable force. Is that part of the motivation? What exactly made you sort of go, yes, okay, I will do this again?
No, I think it's just the opportunity. You know, it's another opportunity to be able to test yourself. It's another opportunity to be able to elevate yourself. And it's part of being a man. It's part of living. You know, you have highs of highs and you have lows of lows. And living is being able to get up and get back on that horse and test yourself like that again. I mean, most people won't be able to guess what my favorite fight is that I've been in. Can anyone guess what that fight is?
I'll tell you guess that it's the first Masvidal fight just because of the situation.
No. It was the first Covington fight. And a lot of people would say that's the most challenging fight I've had. Obviously, my last two fights, but that fight was extremely challenging because it was just something primal about it. I didn't think about anything, I didn't worry about anything, I didn't care about anything. It was just me in there, just putting my heart and my soul into that fight. There was nothing that could have distracted me that night. And so when you get down with that fight, a fight like that, everyone was like, oh man, you got hit a lot, but it was the most fun fight I've ever had. And so I realized through soul searching, it's just that, hey, that's you only get a few of those moments to be able to experience something like that. So, you know, I want to experience it a couple more times before I walk away from this sport.
It's funny, you used the word there, primal, and I think we've seen how Khamzat fights, right? It seems to be on the gas the moment he comes out, and primal would be a good word to describe it. Is that what you're expecting when you get in there with him?
Yeah, I expect any and everything. You know, that's what you prepare for, that's what you train for each and every day. And so I'm expecting it. I expect him to come out and do whatever he wants to do and try whatever he wants to do. That's part of this sport. You know, we jockeying for position each and every inch, and you know, whoever's plan starts to unravel, then the other guy's hand will be raised.
He was just in here, obviously asked about you, and he said that this is a fight that he's been hearing about since the moment he got to this promotion. And he said that he sees similarities in you, but I have to say, he also said that you're like the iPhone 5 version and he's the iPhone Pro version. He said you're the older case and he's the new guy coming on the block. Do you see this guy to be this threat that everyone says he is, or do you think, no, I've been around and I've seen this come and I've seen this go? What do you think about him and his terms of where he could go in this sport?
I think he's as advertised. He's very tough, you know, very strong. He's big. He can strike, he can wrestle, he can grapple. He can do it all. So can I. You know, so I think he's as advertised. But you don't know until you know. You know, ignorance is bliss sometimes, and I give him all the props in the world. He's done everything he needed to do with what he's been presented with. You know, but, you know, the iPhone Pro sometimes doesn't fit in certain pockets. You know, you might need just a regular iPhone. They both take good pictures, and they both work just fine.
I like that. If you win this fight, you're getting a title shot. And I believe I heard you this week saying you can take one title, go down and take your old title, and then just walk away into the sunset. Him and Islam both sort of suggested that you and Alex are coming here for the money, right? You're getting a big pay jump. But for you, what is the motivation to be here? Is it to show people you can do it? Is it to get money, or is it to get that title back?
Do you think I have money?
I would say you've got a little bit of money, yeah, tucked away somewhere.
Okay. So clearly ain't about the money, you know, and I asked for the fight.
You asked for the fight.
initially when he was at my weight.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's missed it, a couple of times now? I don't know how many times. And, you know, so it's one of those situations. I don't really care. It's just, honestly, when I think about it, it's soul searching. It's wanting to get that opportunity, wanting to feel that again. Because if you really look at it, when I was sitting down waiting for a fight, what was everyone saying? Who's he gonna fight? Like, we've seen him fight that guy twice, that guy 3 times. He's beat that guy. He's beat that one. Yeah. You know, people were kind of, what excites us about a fight? Are you excited about this fight? Think so.
Kamaru, Alex was in here and he said it's kind of a blessing in disguise because he wasn't putting his body through hell for the 8-12 weeks, and he just gets focused on himself and comes in, like, obviously he would prefer a full camp, but he is fresh in the head and kind of physically fresh. So I'm curious, do you feel the same way?
Absolutely. It's just something, it's such a weird switch that's flipped when you sign the contract. And so before that, you're just training. You'll be surprised. You go into some of these gyms and you'll see obviously you'll see a guy just having his way with other guys. If it's a guy that's preparing for a fight, you're just kicking the shit out of him. You're just doing whatever you want with them. And then the moment you sign the fight, it's like, oh my God, nothing works. It's just a switch that goes off in your head. And so we didn't have to make that switch this time. We was in the gym just, doing what we do. This is our career. We're not just sitting at home and doing absolutely nothing. We're in the gym, we're learning, we're growing. And when the opportunity came, it took a little second to think about it. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
And obviously the last few of your fights, especially the title fights, they've been big fights, but I feel like the buzz around you fighting Khamzat just feels a little different than, rematching Leon or rematching Colby. So I'm curious, just compared to the build-up to those fights, do you feel like more fans are excited for this fight specifically than any of your recent ones?
You tell me.
I would say so.
Then why wouldn't I want to do it? Exactly.
I'm curious, do you think you'll feel like an actual middleweight in there or just a welterweight that's not cutting as much weight?
That doesn't make any difference. Since the beginning of my career, Henry, in our gym that when I started, he always said the same thing every day. It doesn't matter. Everybody spars everybody. It doesn't matter if you're big, you're small, you're skinny, you're fat, you're ugly, you're cute. Doesn't matter. Everybody spars everybody. I had to spar Anthony Johnson. I had to spar Anthony Johnson for a lot of my career and his career. So it doesn't matter.
And final one for me, obviously, if you do get past Khamzat, Sean Strickland, the rematch that I don't think a lot of people know that you did fight him at welterweight so long ago. So I'm curious, back then, like you're pretty vocal that you saw something in Leon that you kind of assumed maybe you would see him down the road after your first fight. Was there any part of you that after you beat Sean the first time that maybe I would see Sean Strickland again down the road and would be in a UFC title fight?
I don't think of it like that. I think of it when I reflect. At that point, I was coming downhill fast. I didn't care who was in my way. And Leon was that, I didn't care. I took care of business. Sean was that, I didn't care, and I took care of business. And so I don't really, I don't really dwell on it. It's when I'm done and I sit back now and start to reflect a little bit more and more. Like you just mentioned, a lot of people didn't know that I fought Sean Strickland. So you can tell, I've been putting in work for a minute now. And so it's just kind of one of those things. Now I'm starting to be in a position to where you get to reflect and say, I did put some work in. Beat quite a few people here.
How do you think Sean has evolved since then? Obviously fighting up a different division now, but do you see many similarities in his game, or does he look vastly different to you now?
Yeah, this is MMA. Styles make fights. Sean, I think he's definitely grown a lot, of course. But I think the most important thing is he's grown into his identity of a fighter. He accepts the fact that he fights this particular style, a particular way. And he's just leaned into it, and he's grown exponentially, and now he's the champion. But styles make fights. I said it when I came into the game. I'm a nightmare for certain people to deal with, and I just think that that matchup, it's a nightmare for Sean Strickland. But he's grown exponentially. He's very, very improved.
And when you look at the fight with Khamzat, I mean, we haven't seen him face a ton of adversity. Probably the Gilbert fight was definitely moments that he had to fight back from. He said he learned from that and, won't be as wild and things like that. But when you watch that fight back, do you feel like there's things that maybe Gilbert didn't take advantage of that you would in a similar scenario?
I mean, we're different fighters. Gilbert Burns is a hell of a fighter, great fighter, but I'm a different fighter. So my fight IQ, the way I see certain things or just compute certain things in the fight are slightly different. So, it is what it is. And if Khamzat is the true contender and potential future star that I think he could be, then hopefully he learned from that. But we'll find out Saturday.
And in this fight, you will have Henry Hooft in your corner, as well as Trevor Whitman for the first time. How do you think that's going to manifest itself? What kind of confidence does it give you having those two voices behind you on a fight night?
Great confidence. I think, all through life, all through my career, now when I reflect, I'm like, I've always been blessed to be in front of men that pour into me in a certain way, that kind of help push me further in my journey of life. And to be able to stumble into the gym and have a Henry Hooft build the foundation, and then somehow run into Trevor Whitman and meet him to where, you can find a coach that could kind of fine tune and hone into certain things. And to have both of them, they're very, very different in their approach, but they're both different approaches that speak to me and get me to react a certain way. So I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I want to see